Here's the challenge. Who should be hired? You or this classmate? Straight A grades, delivers all assignments perfectly, goes to class, studies at home, goes to class, studies at home, watched all productivity improvement videos on YouTube, finished a degree program on time. You think you're screwed? In this video I will share 12 things that you can do that will give you the edge when you start your career. There's more to university life than just going to class and attending exams. Find out what else you can do starting today. Hello and welcome to Study Fox, the channel for clever students who want to make the best of their lives. I'm your host, Jem. I observed all the following methods firsthand. These methods focus on getting real skills and real experience, not simply improving grades. In my opinion, far more valuable whether you want to apply for a job or start your own business. I will give examples from my field, which is space engineering, but many methods apply to other disciplines. And if you're from a totally different field, I'm sure you'll still find some inspiration here. So let's start. In many universities, you will find student groups that build racing cars, develop apps, conduct studies, and do all kinds of science or social experiments. Joining a group like that will give you real hands-on experience. In TU Berlin's aerospace department, students get to build rovers, satellites, rockets, and more. Students can learn from their seniors and mix with students from different disciplines. You can start with small tasks and then get more responsibility later. It's a learning playground, and it's okay if things go wrong. One time I supervised a student group. We built an autonomous rover in just 200 days, and we took part in a rover competition. When we got there, the rovers broke their arms, legs, got stuck, flew into the audience, humped objects. It was hilarious. But by the end, the jury declared that all teams are winners. But it really felt like that because the students had won so much experience. It's unparalleled. So start looking for a group like that today. And you don't even have to restrict yourself to your own department. Join other departments and bring in your perspective. The best thing that happened to our group was when students from other programs joined with their unique skill set. If you can't find anything in your university, browse what you can find in other universities. Groups like that often rely on voluntary work and are more open. Many of my students have even teamed up virtually with student research groups from around the globe. One of the best things you can do while studying is to have a part-time job that is somewhat related to your field. Not only do you get experience, but you also get a better feeling for what it's like to work in that field. That's especially great if you feel lost and you don't know yet what you will actually do with your degree. Start by looking for jobs in your university, be it as student researcher or tutor. Here you can see TU Berlin's student job portal, and it's always full of new ads. Also look outside your department or even outside of your own university. There may be other universities in your region. I worked as a tutor and I taught programming for several years. It was one of the best things that could have happened to me. I found a purpose, it gave me confidence, and I felt more involved in the university. Plus, I could casually talk to scientists on a daily basis and learn more about their work and their habits. Next, look for a job in the industry or in research organizations in your region. You can find relevant organizations by looking at the website of the Chamber of Commerce, job portals, or just using your search engine. For example, we have a space industry in Berlin, and more than half of our students in our Master of Space Engineering program have a relevant job at some point. You can believe me that it's worth the effort of seeking such an opportunity. And yes, it's not a piece of cake to get a job, and you may get many rejections, but with time, improvement, consistently looking for opportunities, it is possible. I'll do a separate video about ways to getting a job like that. In the space sector, we have several societies dedicated to students. Students meet and discuss projects, organize events, and pitch ideas to shape the future of the industry. There are international groups like the Space Generation Advisory Council and regional groups from different associations. There are even groups for dedicated audiences like the Women in Aerospace Initiative. Joining a group like that will make you an active participant of the community in your field. You will build a valuable network, get familiar with the trends in your field, and participate in interesting projects. The groups are made for students, so don't hesitate to get in touch. The communication is casual, not too formal, so start using your search engine and type in student society, association, plus keywords that are relevant to your program. I can't tell you how many of my students come to me and pitch their own ideas. They see different student competitions advertised by space agencies or simply have a cool idea for a science project. You can partner up with your classmates and share your ideas with students from other fields. Team up and start getting your hands dirty. Maybe you can publish your work. My tip here is find a supervisor. Pitch your idea to lecturers or other members of your university. Maybe they can offer support. Let me give you an example. A group of students suggested to build an experiment and put it on a sounding rocket. It was a funded campaign and quite a big project. So we said, how about we make this part of this year's project-based courses? Students can work on the experiment and get the credits. You as a student can shape the curriculum, even if you suggest a non-funded project. And let me tell you a secret. Every single department at any university can spare a few $100s for a student project. And if you need more, you can always look for sponsors, which has worked greatly for my students in the past. Let me make one thing clear. You don't need programming skills to participate in a hackathon. Often you're given a context and you develop a solution or even a business model with a small group of people. This happens in a short and intense time frame, for example, over a full weekend. Sure, the result is often a rudimentary software or hardware prototype, but in many cases the focus is on generating innovative solutions to specific problems. A hackathon is interdisciplinary. Participate no matter what domain you're from. The teams need project managers, graphic designers, software developers, people from social studies, natural sciences, depending on the topic of the hackathon. You meet great people and are guided by experts. Really nothing to be afraid of. There are no high expectations. It's all voluntary and the atmosphere is positive. You will learn a lot if you step out of your comfort zone and sign up for a hackathon on any topic. It's great to get used to the process of creating an idea and figuring out a business model. This can come in very handy in the future. Speaking of business models, why not found a startup as a student? Of course you will say, I barely learned the basics and I don't have much experience yet. Yes, that may be true. I totally agree that many business models require a certain level of expertise, but many other ideas don't. So you can focus on these. I literally know students who sat down in a bar and said, there's so much satellite data, there must be something we can do with it. They came up with an idea, they pitched it in business competitions, got funded, and they have a thriving business now. The university is a really good environment to start a business. Many universities have a dedicated center for entrepreneurship. They offer support with your business model, get you in contact with business angels, and support the funding process. Many governments offer different funding opportunities for startups. I know at least a dozen founders who went down that road. Creativity is not something you're born with, it's a skill. You need to train it by applying the process again and again. No matter how your first startup ends, the experience is always a win. Unfortunately, many study programs lack a dedicated support system. Often you can feel lost as a student and you don't know who to talk to about this other than your classmates who themselves may be in a similar situation. My tip here is to actively seek guidance. Go to consultation hours of your professors and ask them what they can recommend to you based on your individual interests and strengths. But here's something else. Have a chat with alumni and professionals from your field. They are what you may want to become in the future. This can be a huge source of inspiration. It may change your perspective. Universities have alumni databases. You can also find people through social media platforms like LinkedIn. Browse for scientific publications or news articles about companies and their projects. You may find a name and an email address of a person involved in a project of your interest. It's okay to ask someone for 15 minutes of their time. You can ask about their path to becoming who they are now, and they will be happy to share it with you. I think there are too many students nowadays that haven't had a single one-on-one conversation with a professional from their field. Find someone to talk to and you won't regret it. Why would you want to engage in university politics? You learn about how the university is structured, you connect with faculty, and you learn about every opportunity firsthand. I know students who dedicated time to engage in university committees. Yes, it costs time, but they all made a name, were in touch with the leaders and professors of the university. So one thing leads to another. So most of them got a great student job, participated in projects and all sorts of events. Overall, quite beneficial. I'm sure there are conferences in pretty much every single field. Conferences are a great way to meet professionals, stay informed about the latest topics in your field, and simply get inspired. Going to a conference is an experience, and it opens up opportunities for some of the points that I mentioned earlier. Luckily, students get a huge discount for most conferences, and if not, don't hesitate to ask the organizers if they can give you a discount. Nowadays, there are many virtual conferences, and many of them are even for free. Sure, virtual networking may not be the same, but still, it's better than nothing, right? You can achieve a lot by engaging with other people, and I will just give a few examples of what I mean with that. Form study groups, organize with your classmates, and start activities that are beneficial for your career. Field trips, projects, you name it. Join local or remote meetups to meet like-minded and motivated people from other disciplines. Exchange ideas and start projects together. Volunteer in a place that is somewhat relevant to your field. Browse for events in your region, like talks, meets and mingles, career fairs. You can start a blog or YouTube channel about any topic in your field or your study experience. As a side effect, it is so beneficial to show what you're doing when you apply for a student job. The students I know that have started a channel or podcast did really well career-wise. Finally, become visible and engage in professional social networks like LinkedIn. Comment articles from professionals in your field. It's like engaging in a group conversation. After a few comments, you can maybe use the private chat and get to know the person. You see, there are endless possibilities. The world is becoming more complex and interdisciplinarity is becoming more important. So it can't hurt to look beyond your field and learn new things, gain a new perspective. Taking one or two electives from totally different departments can be eye-opening. You'll meet people that think different, people that you may have to work with later in your career. It's also good to show that you're open-minded and willing to explore new things. Independent of your field of expertise, there are some general topics that apply to all of us. Communication, self-organization, finance, and so on. One of the top things that I can recommend to you is to make learning a daily habit. Books, blogs, videos, podcasts, online courses, whatever format you like the best. You'll learn from the experience of others and can avoid the mistakes they made. Explore different topics that can make you a tiny bit better and happier every day. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. The list is based on my experience. If you have more tips to share with me and the viewers, write them down in the comments. Also, let me know what topic you'd like me to cover in the video. If you want to get more content about improving your life as a student, simply subscribe and click on the notification button. Thank you and see you soon.